Good morning. Today is March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Many of you ask me all the time what I am, and I am part Irish, so I celebrate St. Patrick's Day. This lesson is replacing letters with numbers. It is lesson 7 in your book. Okay, we're going to start with example 1. I drew the square that you should see in your book that has 9 parts in it. And the first question asks, what is the length of one side of this square? And the hint that I wrote is each square equals 1 unit. Even though my units are not perfectly square, like your book, each square represents 1 unit. So how many squares make up one side of this particular square? We're going to go back to that in a minute. But we're going to take a second to review, couple seconds to review. What is the formula for the area of a square? Area equals side squared. Okay, so that 2 there, when we were talking about exponents, I told you 2 and 3 both have a special name. 2 is squared. Where A stands for area and S stands for side, the exponent 2 that you see right here circled in green means S times S. So, what is the square's area as a multiplication expression? If one side, represented by the S, is equal to 3 units, you replace the letter S with the number 3 units. Since area, or A, equals side squared, the multiplication expression is 3 units times 3 units. Okay, that's what the expression is. Now, what is the square's area? You write it as 9 square units, because remember we had 3 units times 3 units. And you know that 3 times 3 equals 9. And that's how we get units. And you can represent it with the exponent squared. Or you can write 9 square units. Either way is correct. A letter represents one number in an expression. The first square, it was 3 units. That's what the number was that it represented. The second one tells us the side is 23 centimeters. Okay, so since we already know that the area equals side squared, you're going to have 23 centimeters times 23 centimeters. Oops, and the area, sorry about that, is 529. And you always have to make sure you put the units in. I'm going to take that out of my way. And since it's centimeters, you're going to write the abbreviation for centimeters. And make sure you use the exponent 2 for squared, because you're multiplying 23 times 23. Okay, now I want you to complete exercise 1 and fill in the chart. Pause this video while you are doing that. Once you are finished, come back on and listen to example 2. So example 2 is finding the area of a rectangle. And the formula for the area of a rectangle is area equals length times width, where L equals length and W equals width. Okay, so in our first example, we have a rectangle where they're showing us that the measurement is either B centimeters or 8 centimeters. Okay, so they're giving us the letter here, and they're giving us the number that that letter represents on the right-hand side. So what does B equal? B equals 8 centimeters. How do I know that? Because in my book, on the left side, we have B centimeters. on the right side showing the same distance, we have 8 centimeters. In the second rectangle, it is broken down into 4 parts. So it's asking, the question that your book is asking is, what does x equal? Now if you look, x, they're saying, is only equal to 2 units here. Okay, so here we have 1 unit is equal to 4 centimeters. If x is equal to 2 units, we're going to have x times 2, or 4 times 2, which is equal to 8 centimeters. Okay, so this right here, this part, is 4 times 2, so this x equals, this is 4, this is 4, this is 4, and this is already 4. Okay, just want you to be able to see where I'm getting the 8 from. Now, what would the full side of the second rectangle be? If it's broken into 4 centimeter units, you multiply 4 centimeters times 4, and the side is equal to, what is 4 times 4? 4 times 4 is 16, and our unit measure is centimeters, so I'm going to put the centimeters there. Okay, so the whole side is equal to 16 centimeters. To find the area of that rectangle, we use the formula of length times width, where L equals 8, W equals 16. So we're going to exchange the numbers for the letters, and we have 8 times 16, and 8 times 16 is going to be equal to 128 centimeters, and then make sure you square it. Okay, always important, make sure you put that exponent when you're finding area. Okay, area is always the square measure of something. Okay, you're going to complete exercise 2 using the 2 pictures. Again, I wrote down a hint for you. Length, you're going to count the units across, and width, you're going to count the units from top to bottom, and that's how you're going to get that, so you don't get that confused. You can even label it in your book. Put an L across the top, put a W on the side so you know which one is length and which one is width, just so that you understand. They give you, in the second rectangle, 46 meters and 32 meters. 46 meters is going to be the length, so 46 is going to equal L, and 32 is going to equal W. So pause this video while you're filling in the chart, and then come back for example 3. Okay, welcome back. Example 3 is finding volume. Here I drew 2 rectangular prisms. They're not perfect, but they're as good as I can get them. Volume, the formula for volume equals V, and volume equals length times width times height. We already know that L equals length, W equals width, H stands for height. When finding volume, your answer is always expressed as a cube, or V equals X centimeters cubed. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 numbers that we're multiplying, so our exponent is a 3, which is read as a cube. Okay, we have, in our example here, we have one side is the length, then we have the width, and lastly we have the height. And in the second example, they give you values. So the length is 6 centimeters, the width is 2 centimeters, and the height is 8 centimeters. I tried to use the same colors there, so that way you would be able to identify easier which ones go together. Okay, and again, I just wrote down L equals the length of a rectangular prism, W equals the width of a rectangular prism, H equals the height of a rectangular prism. So now you can replace the letters L, W, and H with the corresponding numbers of the second rectangular prism, okay, which are 6, 2, and 8 centimeters each. All right. Before completing exercise 3, to calculate what the actual volume would be, you need to, let me go back here. I'm going to write this in green. Volume equals length times width times height, or volume equals 6 times 2 times 8. 6 times 2 is 12. And then 12 times 8 equals 96. They're expressed in centimeters, and we're going to cube them. Okay, so now I want you to complete exercise 3, finding the volume. You can email any questions to me at cvina@universalcompanies.org. Use your lesson summary and the homework helper to help you with any questions as well. And I will be posting the next lesson sometime tomorrow. Enjoy St. Patrick's Day.